Last week, you saw us in South Florida chasing turkeys. I'm good if you are. Take it. Before turkey season opened in South Florida, I headed out to the Palm Meadows with my rival bow to see if I could stick a couple of hogs.
Growing Deer TV is brought to you by Bass Pro Shops, also by Reconics, Trophy Rock, Eagle Seed, Nikon, Winchester, Scent Master, Dead Downwind, Antler Dirt, Lacrosse Footwear, Whitetail Properties, Blood Sport Arrows, Outdoor Edge 9, Flatwood Natives, Caldwell, Hooks Custom Calls, Montana Decoy, Prime Bows, G5 Broadheads, and Redneck Hunting Blinds.
Hogs are not native to this continent. Most researchers believe that Ponce de Leon or Hernando de Soto released hogs in South Florida during the early 1500s as a way to provide meat to their crews. Whatever the case, there's plenty of hogs in South Florida now. This is not good news for landowners in the area. Hogs do a tremendous amount of damage to orange groves and agricultural crops throughout Florida, and they do more than $1 billion of damage throughout the state.
Far left. Okay, I'm on it.
I really enjoy hunting hogs. I don't want them here at the proving grounds. I know how much damage they can do and the diseases that they carry. But whenever I'm in hog country, I always want to take time and help remove a few. It's legal in Florida for hunters on private property to use bait to attract hogs. And our host had placed a feeder about 25 yards in front of the blind and had it programmed to spread corn about 7 a.m.
Here they come running. Brown one, come on, run.
Just moments after the feeder went off, we heard the palmetto bushes rattling, and soon after saw hogs coming out of bushes and headed right for the feeder.
Oh, there's more coming, more coming. I got grass right on the kill zone.
With several hogs grouped up beneath the feeder and all moving around, we waited patiently till we had a good shot opportunity at the largest hog.
Nope. Black. You on it? Perfect, perfect. Pass through. Hogs came in to the feeder. Kind of had to wait for the biggest one to get around. I was all nervous, to tell you the truth, and finally got quartered away. I thought it was a great shot, but we'll find out.
It looked like a great hit, but we're early in the morning and we'd driven a long way, so Adam and I decided to stay in the blind and see if that same sounder or even different hogs would come to the feeder. Suddenly, we see movement to our left, and it's another hog approaching the feeder.
I'll take that if you're ready. GoPro's on. This corner to me. There we go. There we go. Now. Now. Perfect. Perfect. I can see the blood on the sides running. It's down. It's down. Perfect. That's what you drive all night to get to Florida for right there, folks. Man, I love that. Hogs provide some great late winter activity. They do a huge amount of damage, and I don't want them around my house, but I don't mind driving to Florida to hunt them since they're already here.
This hog only went about 50 yards after the Havoc broadhead hit its mark. Yeah, it's going right here. Okay. Right there, too. Yeah. I lost it right here somewhere. Might look to your left a little bit. A little harder. I look real hard right over here. Through the shoulder. Not close to it, through the shoulder.
That's impressive.
That's cool, man. Thank you. That's awesome. Hog number 2 for the morning. Of course, you can see the bell blind right behind me. This hog only made it 50, 60 yards. Time to go back to camp and make a little pork. I dress a hog exactly like I do a deer, except I always wear gloves. Hogs have a higher likelihood of carrying disease that's contagious to humans than deer do. So if you're hog hunting and you're successful, you want to use precautions and make sure you got gloves on. Exactly like on a deer, but even more important on a hog, you want to cut from the inside out, not the outside in, and that will leave the hair attached to the skin and not on the meat, because hog hair can be really difficult to get off all the meat. I took some time skinning out this hog because I wanted to check out the wound channel. Hog was strongly quartering away, went in here, come all the way through the vitals, shoulder was back like this, come out the very center of the shoulder. If you've ever done any hog hunting, you know how tough the shoulder is on a hog. I was really impressed with the havoc and how tough it is. Just like a deer, the first cut I remove is the ball roast, which is the front part of the ham. I simply follow the femur down, follow the line of the meat, take it off. And when you're done, you really don't leave any meat on there at all, but you got no bone. You can take a whole lot home with you. And then of course all you gotta do is hit that button, you just take that out and put another one in. Yeah, for elk hunting, you can carry one knife and 3 or 4 blades and instead of carrying 4 or 5 knives like everybody does. I've probably cleaned 4 or 5 deer with that and then did this. We had a great experience in South Florida. We were able to accomplish our mission and take a few hogs off Chris and Tina's farm and get some fresh pork to bring back to Missouri.
That line goes all the way. Now, like an area like this, do you get enough sun?
Oh man, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. During this trip, we also stopped by South Carolina and visited with John Stevens. John had told us that on his family farm, he'd noticed a steady decrease in buck quality during the past several years. I want that whole thing in beans. It's gonna change. I'm gonna pay for myself real easy today. That's gonna change your hunting. As we began touring John's farm, we noticed it was very similar to much of the South. It included a lot of planted pines, some hardwoods, and a few openings. Planted pines are extremely common in the South. It's a cash crop in the South, just like corn or soybeans are in the Midwest. Okay, we're working in South Carolina today with John Stevens. John, thanks for having us down.
Certainly. And
creating a plan to improve his property. And one of our first stops, we stopped at his pine stand right behind me. And the first thing I noticed, of course, it's volunteers seated in. You'd never plant trees this thick. And just like having too many deer per square mile where there's not enough food to go around, there's too many pine trees here and their crown is real skinny and they're not gonna ever produce big trees. And if trees aren't healthy, then what's living below them? Deer and turkey can't be healthy. So first thing we're gonna prescribe for John on this property is to thin this down to about 60 feet per acre, 60 basal feet. So that means if we took all the trees and pushed them together, we'd end up with 60 square feet, but that's gonna be spread out over an acre. Get some sunshine down to the forest floor, allow some grasses and forbs to come up and have some food, cover, bedding all at once.
Okay.
Our first recommendation at John's place was to work with a local forester and have these pines thinned. We laid out a plan to show the ideal thinning operation for timber and wildlife production. Usually good forestry and good wildlife habitat management go hand in hand. So like when they're browsing on this, you can see the browse line, no leaves down here and leaves up here. And that's multiflora rose right here. This isn't even blackberry, that's multiflora rose. And when they're browsing that hard, you got hungry deer. Yeah, you're not gonna grow what you want. This is smilax. Depending on where you are in America, you might call it greenbrier or catbrier. No one really likes it because it can cut you, but deer love to eat it. You wouldn't be surprised. These leaves are very digestible, high in protein. There's no smilax up to about 5.5, 6 feet tall, and this has clearly been browsed off. I can see even browse here where this has been browsed off. Honeysuckle right here. Honeysuckle vines all below us, not a single leaf, not one leaf down here. Up to about 4.5, 5 feet tall, and then even more higher. These deer are hungry. And we're in a large open area that used to be a pasture or an orchard. So we've already prescribed for John to plant this in forage soybeans. And just that one change, putting 4 or 5 acres of forage soybeans, will totally eliminate the dependency on this native low quality browse. And I suspect easily, we're talking realistically, 5, 10, 15 inches of antler gain by liming, fertilizing, and putting the appropriate forage out here for this deer herd to be available. Just that one simple change will probably change the hunting on this property. We also noticed the food plot crops, mainly wheat at John's property, had a yellow tint. And yellow in young wheat usually means a lack of nutrients, probably a lack of nitrogen. When plants don't have nutrients, they can't transfer them to the deer. Another easy fix on John's property.
We have, like, here's some clover over here that's not doing that well. It was just planted, but why would they browse like that instead of going after that?
Did you really fertilize that well?
No.
That's why.
Okay.
Because that tree has, I don't know, 15, 20-year-old root system down to where there's some mineral. That young plant is in highly eroded soil that hadn't been fertilized.
Okay.
There's nothing there to make that. Just because it's clover doesn't mean it's good. Okay. We enjoyed touring your property, and we have a long list of things to do, but overall there's 3 general trends you need to improve, or 3 things you need to work on to improve the quality of your deer herd and the huntability of your deer. The first would be the deer are hungry. I mean, all the smilax and honeysuckle and everything is browsed up head high, basically. Okay. So we're gonna need to do some thinning.
All right.
We're gonna need to have the forester come in. We're gonna write out a plan, have the forester implement. And in the pines, it's easy. You've got merchantable timber where we can cut and you get some profit to put towards food plots or whatever, make mom a little happier. And thin that out where it's not canopy to canopy. Get some sunshine coming down.
All right.
We're going to need to make some larger food plots. So in some areas, we're going to actually remove all the trees and get larger areas to plant, because native vegetation is one thing, maybe 1,000, 2,000 pounds per acre, but we can grow 5, 6, 7,000 pounds per acre with a food plot. That's a big difference. And then we want a soil sample, because remember, if the nutrients are in the dirt, they can't be transferred to the deer. And you've admitted you've got a little slack for a year or two, and then put a lot of fertilizer down. So we've got now soil tests from every field. We'll look at those results and come up with a recommendation of lime and fertilizer for each plot. And that's an annual process. We're going to do that every year.
Okay.
Basically, we're going to use forage soybeans as our main supplement food, intermixed with clover in the smaller areas which aren't large enough to grow soybeans due to browse pressure. And I think you'll be able to hold your deer density where it is, or even let it increase a little bit, more deer per square mile, and also increase the quality, because we're going to be adding so much more food than we have. So more targets, more deer, bigger deer, but you got to do some work to get there.
Sounds like a plan.
All right, thanks for the opportunity.
Thank you.
Combination of thinning the pine stands to allow more forage to grow in the forest, and doing a better job of managing the openings by taking a soil test, using forage soybeans to get maximum tonnage of high quality forage, and overseeding those soybeans with the fall blend like broadside will turn around the deer herd quality at John's farm in short order. So your goal here, which I think you can do, is to grow some 3- and 4-year-old bucks and give them enough nutrition to express some more potential than they are now. Once we returned home, we created a habitat management map for John's property and a detailed written report giving him a step-by-step plan to improve the habitat and deer herd quality. We had a safe trip home and are excited for our next adventure. Hope you have a chance to get outside and have an adventure this week and enjoy creation. But whatever you do, please take time every day to be quiet and listen to what the Creator is saying to you. Thanks for watching GrowingDeer.tv.